summer it has been for everyone out there on the front line. Let's just begin. Very quick updates, and I'll just go around my screen. So Dr. Culler, you're up first.
All right, good morning, everybody. So some quick updates from the financial aid office. We have been working diligently on our outreach to students who need to fill out the FAFSA. So we have a couple different student populations that we're working on reaching out to. So early on, we identified all those students who were with us in 2021-22 academic year, who had received some type of federal or state aid and had not yet filed a FAFSA for 2022-23. So in March, we did our first mailing campaign to send all of them letters. We gave that a little bit of time for students to react. In May, we followed up with phone calls to all of those students who still had not taken action. So I need to just give a shout out and a huge thank you to Allison and Kim, because that was a very big list that they worked their way through. And now that we are in June, we are working on our second follow-up phone calls to students who still need to do the 22-23 FAFSA, but we are concentrating on our efforts on those who are currently enrolled for fall. We always get to a certain point in the summer where the financial aid office, we really have to turn our attention to start working those files of students who are enrolled, because we need to make sure that we do not have huge numbers on the deregistration list, right? We don't want to have all the hard work and time that goes into getting students registered just to have them be dropped for non-payment. So we've now really entered the mode where we're really working those students who are registered to reach out to them. For students who are brand new to MCCC, when they fill out the admissions application, they have the opportunity to answer a question about whether or not they intend to apply for financial aid. We regularly run those reports to identify those students who said, yes, they want financial aid, but have not completed the FAFSA for 2022-23. And those calls are just ongoing phone calls that we're just running that list repeatedly. Want to say thank you to Tracy, Perry, Gerald, and Joe for helping us organize our FAFSA Fridays. This was an idea that Andrew had. We wanted something that was a bit catchy, that we could really, as we are making outreach calls to the students, promote to them that if they needed help filling out the FAFSA, we're here for them. So we have FAFSA Fridays where students can actually register online to let us know that they're going to be coming. We have the computer lab open in Founders Hall from 8 to 11 that Gerald reserved for us to use as a space for anybody who wants to come in for assistance filling out the FAFSA. And there's a message too for students if they choose to register that if Friday doesn't work for them, they're encouraged to contact the financial aid office. We can always make an alternate appointment any day of the week, right, and find a way to fit them in. What Kim and Allison shared with me as they were making the outreach phone calls for students is most students, as they're reaching them, are very comfortable filling out the FAFSA on their own, which is great. They just need the reminder to take care of doing that. So we've had a little bit of traction on the FAFSA Fridays, but we've had several students who have been joining us for those. They've been very grateful for the assistance. So we're going to continue that all throughout the summer. And then quick update on frontliners and Reconnect, just monitoring those. For frontliners, remember that frontliners, the last semester they were eligible to gain participation in the frontliners program. They had to enroll with us no later than fall of 2021. So we're going to continue to see our frontliners population go down every semester because there are no new enrollments in that particular state program. And we're starting to see students graduate. We're reporting our graduation rates to the state at the end of every semester. So where we are at today with frontliners, we have 174 frontliners who are awarded for fall. 110 of those students are currently enrolled. Last fall, we had a total of 312 frontliners by the time classes started. But again, this is the population that we should expect to see going down. Reconnect students, this is where we can really focus our attention on getting some new enrollment under the Reconnect program, because enrollment for this program is ongoing. It's on a rolling basis. Right now, we have 345 students awarded. 183 of those students are actually enrolled for fall. When we do a comparison of our frontliners at this point in time last year, this same week last year, we had 296 students awarded and 150 enrolled in fall of 2021. So comparing at this point in time last year, we're up in both awarded and enrolled students for the frontline or the Reconnect population. When we look at where we were at by the time classes started in August last year, we had a total of 269 Reconnect students. We're beginning to report our graduates to the state for Reconnect. Those numbers are low, but that's not unexpected because we find that our Reconnect students are really only taking, so many of them, just 6 credit hours a semester, which means that it's going to take them a long time to get to graduation. So anything we can do is we're talking to our Reconnect students to see if they can, if they can take that 9 credit hour load, it will just get them to the finish line that much faster. And then finally, we submitted our annual Reconnect report to the state, which was due June 30th. So very happy to have met that deadline. That's our update.
Thank you. Tracy, would you make sure our counselors are really talking about time to graduation with those reconnects to see if we can't get them to 9? And Jill, maybe we do a campaign on that before the winter registration so that we can just kind of start informing them and during the fall work with those students to help them get towards graduation, because 6 is a long time to stay dedicated. 6 credits a semester is a long time to stay dedicated. Great job. All right, Tracy Perry, you're up next. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so as far as like our WIG goes, we know we had talked about the CRM as well as increasing fall enrollment for our high school students. So there has been a lot going on with the CRM lately. We have some automated updates that are going out. So when students apply, they automatically get the admissions letter. We also are working on the inquiry. So right now we're still looking on how to automate that. But our student workers are sending out that inquiry information the next day. We also, Joe had talked about before, our enrollment mailings that we have with the stickers. I'm sure he's going to show that in his presentation again too, and the booklet that we have. So we have not started mailing those out yet. That's something that's going to happen within the next week or so. We've also, like Valerie said, we've used the CRM for our event management. The Fast for Fridays, they are able to register students online. So any events, again, that we're going to have on campus are going to go through the CRM so that we can capture that inquiry information from the students and be able to better track our participation that way. And Jonathan is working on a lot of system upgrades because, of course, with technology, you have to do the upgrades so that we can use the programs as efficiently as possible. So he's in the sandbox a lot. So we have to do an Axiom upgrade. We have to do the CRM upgrade. So that's what's going on as far as the CRM. Speaking of, in order to increase enrollment, we have to be able to have more appointments. So in order to do that for the summer, we have hired 4 new adjunct counselors, and they are trained. 2 of them had started taking appointments this week. So that was a total of 10 appointments that we wouldn't have been able to see had we not had those 2 counselors being able to see those students, as well as call campaigns. So when they're not seeing students, all my counselors will be using or making phone calls to our students. We currently have call campaigns going out for students who have either stopped out for a semester or up to 2 years. And those calls are being documented and going through the CRM. The great thing about that is that we're making sure that on how the number of times students are being called, we're documenting them in the system, as well as only 1 student can be called at a time, the way the system works. Some other campaigns that we have coming out through the pipeline are our inquiries who have not applied yet. So that's a campaign that we're going to get up within the next week, as well as our students who have applied but have not scheduled an appointment so that we can get more appointments scheduled. As far as our increased high school enrollment, we've been doing a lot with our dual enrollment students, as well as our high schools. So all of our direct college and dual enrollment forms have been collected. I know in the past, without being able to have as much contact, they would just send them to us, but Pam is actually going out to the schools, building those relationships, collecting those forms. So they're in the system. We do have all of our direct college classes as well. In the past, sometimes they weren't counted on count day, but they should be counted this year around. We also started dual enrollment orientations. We were doing direct college orientations already, but with the dual enrollment, from talking to the counselors, we realized that students they not necessarily knew how to get into all the systems, such as my WebHelp, Brightspace. Some of them didn't even do their email, and you would be surprised. The counselor like, well, how did you pass the class this semester if you didn't know how to get into your email? So we were able to go and talk to those students, and we went to all 9 high schools, and I believe we probably talked to over 300 students for the new student orientation. Things in the pipeline, we're starting to plan our fall parent nights where we're going to talk to the parents about ways to pay for college. And that would be with the dual enrollment, as well as looking at different articulation agreements so that they know that they don't have to send their children to school for four-year institutions right away. We've been upping our campus tours and our visits. Last Friday, we had a group from Lourdes, their Upward Bound program. There were over 30 students there. So we're just really ramping up our tours. They're also going to be online soon. We just need to get a little bit more training for our student workers. So students will be able to schedule those group tours through our CRM. We've been also, as you can see, we've been at decision days. Some of the students up there from airport that decided to come to Monroe High, we were taking pictures and things. These are just some of the pictures we've been taking. So we'll get you more updates on that. And of course, just going out to the high schools for the visits. And I know Scott has been waiting for this information more than those updates, and that's our enrollment for the fall semester. So currently, I know this looks a little worse off than what it is, but for our, as of yesterday, compared to last year, we are, you can see we're about 1677, where last year we were at 1710. Now that is a little bit less than 2%. So on my next slide, you can see that we were trending upward for quite some time, but over the past week or so, since students have been out and again, wrapping up our appointment scheduling by getting our counselors training, we are at a 2% deficit. But the great news is, as you can see for our current students, we are currently trending upward in a 7%, almost 8% year over year. So we're doing well with our retention efforts. We just have to be able to schedule more new student appointments, which I have my new counselors focusing on, and also those retention calls that we're making, getting those stop out students to re-enroll. So those will be our focus over the next few weeks or so.
Okay. Let's go to Tracy Vogt.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have fun stuff to report on that has to do with all of us. So I don't have really anything new to report. My department is still working on the new efforts to increase retention and completion. So we are working on the recurring degree audits, doing some different things with AutoGrad, of course, the course alert system, and all of those efforts, including all of our areas that we've been working on. So I'm going to report on the overall WIG numbers of graduation and completion. This is as of winter semester. So we are already up 70 students from last year for graduates and completions, so certificate earners or degree earners. This for the winter semester, we were up 30% from last year. These charts are broke down by term and then by year. And you can see that we're definitely up from last year on total grads by both, really. And we're actually over numbers from 2020 as well. So things are ticking up. The efforts that we're putting in are definitely paying off, and we are achieving our overall WIG so far. We have not processed summer grads yet. That'll be in August, so I'll have total numbers probably toward the end of August. So I would imagine that the numbers are just going to go up from now on, or from here on out. So that's awesome news, and congratulations to all of us.
That's the goal. Well done. All right, Gerald, you are next. And if you wouldn't mind, discuss briefly Jenny Shylander's work as well.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'll just start out with the student success WIG and just remind everyone that we are collaborating with admissions and financial aid and registrar on the CRM implementation and focusing specifically on the new appointment process for the areas of the testing center, disability services, tutoring and writing fellows, admissions, and community mental health. So the goal is to have that completed by December 1st. We've completed several areas. So we've done the needs assessment. We've worked with the CRM team on the design of the appointment process. Our last step was to evaluate the Insight product, which is very similar to the Accommodate product that we're using with disability services. And we still have one more meeting to be scheduled with them. I'm working with Jim Ross to get that scheduled here the end of this month or the first part of July. And our goal is to have a decision on whether to go with that software or to use what we currently have with Target X. And so that will be the next thing on the agenda to kind of decide. Our goal is to have this implemented and tested by September 1st, provide training by mid-October, and start beginning the new process by November 1st. And of course, if things happen where we have to adjust those dates, but those are what we're looking at. And then, of course, assess in February, once we've had it up for a few months, assess and look for ways to improve and any different things we might look at there. Quick update on the library. So library is about 85 to 90% done. They've taken the barriers down. Right now, the furniture is over there. They're getting ready to put the furniture in. They'll be working on landscaping, getting the classrooms set up. The books are being moved back to campus, even as we speak, over here in Founders Hall in the tutoring area, where we're not really doing a lot of group tutoring. We have the books there, and the library team is going to be organizing the books, getting them ready to move over to the library. We're hoping to do that by the first part of July, and so there'll be a campus volunteer opportunity, so just stay tuned. We'll have an opportunity for people to come over and volunteer, an hour if you want to help us put books on the shelves, and we'll have fun things like pizza and water and soda, things like that. So keep on the lookout for the volunteer opportunity where you can sign up and also give you a chance to kind of see the new library before it's officially open. So be on the lookout for that. A lot of exciting things happening in disability services. The Accommodate software implementation has begun. This streamlines disability services process, making it easier for students and staff to assist students in securing accommodations. And just a big thanks to Christine Gerlach, Amy Ackerman, Jim Ross, and Sue McKee, who are kind of leading the charge to get this up and running, and they're just doing a great job. For the mental health counseling services update, so in addition to providing mental health referral services on campus, Monroe County Community College, through our partnership with Monroe Community Mental Health Authority, is going to have a full-time counselor on campus this fall. It's going to be paid for with the HERF funds, and they'll be able to actually schedule therapy appointments with students. So we have a meeting actually today with our partners to discuss a little bit more in detail. And there'll be more information coming out on this as we move forward. So we're very, very excited about that. And then I wanted to just give a quick update on our testing center and tutoring. So at testing center is very busy given the AccuPlacer test, but also the metro testing. A lot of people may not realize we are one of the only areas in the region, actually, the four-state region here that includes Ohio and states like that, where students or people can come in and take their pesticide tests. And many days we're very, very busy doing these tests. Yesterday we had we had a couple yesterday. We had 19 the day before. We've got many, many scheduled today. It's also revenue for the college because we get paid for those people to take tests. So people that do landscaping and do all kinds of pesticides, they have to come in and get their license renewed by taking this test. So the testing center is very busy during the summertime. We do have our writing fellows here one day a week, and we do have individual tutoring. So Beth Kemprath and Barb Motter are doing tutoring, mostly remote, but you will see them on campus from time to time. And then just briefly, as Scott asked me to mention, Jenny Shylander, she works in many areas, including at admissions, helping us take appointments and work with students. But she also works with the DTE STEM scholars. And so that is reaching out to students and engaging them at least 2 times each semester, talking to them about specifically their math classes, offering assistance, just being that support. And by doing all those reach out calls, we're seeing a really a great increase in the number of people completing the classes. There's a lot of data. Jenny sent out a wonderful spreadsheet and some information yesterday that I certainly can share with everyone to show that what she's doing is making a difference with our students. But it's that personal contact reaching out, do you need help? How can we help you? If nothing else, just giving encouragement, and it is making a difference in the completing of our students. So I would just like to take a moment to thank everyone in the student success area and all of the different areas, whether it be in the library, in the testing center, disability services. They are extremely busy this summer. They're working very, very hard to implement many new things and get things put back in the case of the library. And I just want to thank them all for their dedication and professionalism. I'm just so glad to be part of this team. And so if you are in the neighborhood, you can stop by and take a look at all the books, but just wanted to say thank you to all of them. So.
Well done. And thank you, Jenny. That is great work. I read the report. Basically, the success rates have improved for those students by about 20%, and their enrollment has steadily increased significantly as well. So great work there. Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Just real quick to piggyback on, before I get started, something Tracy said, because I did not have these in my presentation, but I have them handy. For many, many years, when students were accepted to the college, they basically just got a really long admissions letter that we reviewed and thought, well, that's, as we were going through the CRM and figuring out all the communications that students needed, this was one we put on the front burner. And this is the MCC Husky bound, just a quick little brochure. It just opens up one way, and then within it is a sheet of stickers that students can put wherever, on their laptops, on their cars, whatever. And then there's also a certificate that's generated directly out of the CRM, and we bought special certificate paper for those, and that's what she was alluding to. So those are all here. Everything is purchased and laid out, printed and everything, and ready to go. So we're excited about that, because those are the kinds of things that students are getting from universities, and we're really trying to step up the game in what we're sending to them. So I will share quickly here. Going through some of the things we've completed, our major goals surrounded the CRM and really supporting admissions in designing the communications with inquiries and admitted students. We are really about 90% through that. We've given them all of the flow architecture, this is what you should receive when, as well as the copy, help them with the form field content, which is already up and running. The request info form is going directly into the CRM for inquiries. We developed the admitted student communications flow and copy to go with each step of okay, after they get that admitted packet, then we haven't heard from them, then they get this message, etc. So I know Jonathan's been working hard on that. The only step we have left is really there's a portal that's part of this that we have not yet developed, and the reason we've delayed that a little bit is because the catalog, electronic catalog, transferring to that has really going to change our website. So a lot of the places we're sending them to for additional information are going to change. So we're just going to maybe hold off on that a little bit until we get the catalog up, which is going to be very soon, and then shift back to the portal site architecture, because Jonathan's got plenty to work on between all of this stuff and then all of the other CRM implementation that continues. Some major projects that are in progress right now. Obviously, we talked about the portal. We're going to be working on what we're calling the inquiry brochure. This is going to be an 8-page brochure that's going to go to every single inquiry. We don't want to send them this view book. It's a very expensive piece that's really meant more for in-person or somebody we've developed a little bit of a relationship with. So there's going to be a little more inexpensive brochure that we'll develop. Also, we're going to shift away from all of these program sheets, because the catalog is going to allow us to really just print on demand a pretty solid program sheet that we can do in-house, as opposed to all those individual sheets that we used to print and pretty up. So we're going to go to more of the pathways that appear on the inquiry form and come up with probably 7 or 8 different brochures that are geared towards different areas of the college, from health related fields to fields that are more focused on business or computers, etc. So we've started the copy on those, but we've really got to get this catalog launched first because that's the major priority. I'm going to show, I can show you right now as I pull this screen over. We are looking to have the new catalog launch probably mid to late July. Right now, it's been Tracy, Vogt, Michelle from my office, and Annette Keebler, who have really been meeting with, it's DigArc, it's a modern campus company. The software itself is called Acalog. So this is really the beta here. We've been working with them each week to talk about what's going in. We're really bringing over the whole catalog, which has already been vetted throughout the campus. So once it comes back, we're just going to have to kind of go through as a group, us four, and make sure everything got done that we wanted done. And then going forward, we'll be able to do this on our own. We're being trained this whole time on how to develop this from the back-end administration tool that's provided. So you can see here, there's going to be a home screen. We've given them copy for that already. All of the about Monroe County. It looks just like our website. You really wouldn't know that you're even leaving our website. And then everything's just going to be managed here. So it's really easy to update throughout the year. We're going to be working on the new catalog all the way throughout the year so that when it's time to say go, we can go, as opposed to the current way we do it now, which is very manual and time intensive through graphic design software. So here is, I wanted to just show you, and this is not the final layout here, but I wanted to show you how a program sheet would work. This would be the accounting associate degree. You'd go down, you'd see all this, and then where you see this highlighted, really all of these different courses would be highlighted. Throughout fall semester, you could click on these courses and go right to that course within from the degree program. So very, very student focused. And when you want to print this out, you can print a degree planner, which gives you the entire degree where you can kind of check off the things that you've completed, or you can print it as just a program sheet, which gives you the entire sheet. And then I'll show you one more sample, because we were really kind of worried about what the nursing programs were going to look like in here. And one great thing too is we're including the transfer pathways. This has never really been part of the catalog. It's been described in there. There's some sheets in there with the pathways. We're including the Michigan transfer agreement, transfer pathways, as well as our own transfer pathways. And then maybe next year we'll start to include articulation agreements going down the line. We just didn't want to bite off more than we could chew at this point, because we really need to get a catalog up. So you can see the transfer pathway here and how these courses, as just kind of, and you don't even leave the page. They pop right up on the page. So it's super, super exciting. And all friendly, very friendly to those with disabilities, et cetera, et cetera. So we don't have to worry about these PDFs, which are not always great for students with disabilities when you click off to program sheets now on our website. Nursing works out really well. They actually could have done something where you could look at all this long information later with a menu, but they didn't want to, because they really want students to read all the qualifications and technical standards before they get in. So I won't go too long on the catalog. I could go forever on that. So I know Scott wanted to keep this brief, but this is a very, very important project we're working on. So let me move some of this stuff back out of the way. A couple other things, external wayfinding signage. I sent out a big memo to campus trying to get everybody informed, so you can refer to that. Really, the hope is fall semester, some may appear more than others. We've got to go to the township for some variances for signs that are larger than they allow. It's our campus. I don't understand why, but we have to. We should be successful. Wanted to talk a little bit about the Founders Hall and Campbell Academic Center grand opening. There's going to be a event on Friday, August 12th. And that is going to be on campus in really right out here behind me. We're going to set up a tent, and it's kind of a fun get dressed up event, and we're going to launch the opening of these two wonderful facilities. We have decided that it's a little more than we can handle right now to do a complete open house for the public, which was going to be on the following Saturday. What we're going to do is this event on August 12th. We're going to and all employees are going to be invited to that. And so we'll, and then, dignitaries, politicians, Dr. Campbell will be here. Our founding presidents, our founding president will be honored. And I'll show you in a second some stuff we're doing to honor him in that building. But also Dr. Nixon is coming back for that, our president before Kojo, and Audrey Warwick, the president before him. So it's going to be an exciting night. But we wanted to have like an open house, but we're going in a different direction. Just to briefly talk about it, the task force decided yesterday that opposed to trying to pull this off in a month and a half in the middle of summer, where we don't know if we'll get too many people out here, we're going to focus on having open houses by building. So to show off Founders Hall, we're going to have an open house hopefully in probably October, November, and one for Campbell later on, so that we can get students out here and focus on a recruitment event and the public and showing them what we're doing with our tax dollars, and then eventually move over to life sciences. And then as we renovate this building that I'm in and the health sciences building, we'll do the same. So I think we're going to follow that recipe. So here's a little bit of a sneak peek at the invitation that's going to go out. And then you can see some photos here that we're going to use in really a display that's going to go in the main hallway. We just picked out the spot yesterday that's going to honor Dr. Campbell and the renaming and rededication of it as the Campbell Academic Center. Here's a couple quotes that we're going to include in that, and then there's going to be a long narrative. It's probably longer than it should be, but he is the founding president and he did an incredible job in getting us to where we're at now. So we really thought it was worth it. So this is probably a bigger display than they ever imagined, but Josh and I spent quite a bit of time trying to get the words correctly, Josh Myers, and Sue Wetzel. So we all worked on that together. So more to come on that. And then one last thing, we are unveiling a new branding enrollment campaign. The plan is in November to transfer from our current campaign, which is more focused on about 14 or 15 high demand careers. And we've really been focused on Michigan Reconnect, to a campaign that really is inspiring and really focuses in on how we are focused on our students and our strategic plan and in our mission and our vision. It really ties in really well with the pathways that we're developing for our students and transferring to that system of helping students find their path, whether it's transfer, whether it's career, whether it's certificate, whether it's one class. So a pathway, you can see a pathway for every dreamer. We've tied in the Michigan Reconnect there at the bottom. Find your path. Every passion has a pathway. And then what's great about this campaign is how extendable it is. And I won't give away the farm. We're going to tease this a little bit at the fair. But you can see every passion has a pathway, and then we can go, this is an ad that would appear on a website and transition as like a GIF, a pathway for every healer, and then practical or registered nursing. So you can see how that, for business, we could do a pathway for every leader, a pathway for computers, we could do a pathway for every techie. We could do all kinds of different things. And right now it's in development and throughout the summer, and we'll start to unveil pieces and parts of this as we get into the fall. And that's it. And I apologize for the length, but complicated topics, Scott.
Very, very exciting. This is very exciting. We're moving the needle. Is Allison on?
And Scott, I just wanted to give a shout out to Doug and Tom and
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
Can you hear me now?
Michelle in my office and Beth, because they're all behind the scenes working on all the stuff that you see. So we couldn't do it without them. So very integral parts of that. Sorry.
No, thank you. Allison, do you have a student in front of you or anything? Or can I steal you for just a second? Allison,
Yep.
Huge, great job. I think Ann was involved. If you would just talk a little bit about the retreat and just a brief what was done, who was involved. We really need to get some kudos there. That was some great work and great responses too.
Yeah, all right. I did a PowerPoint, so just to kind of show you guys.
Right.
Okay, can you guys see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this was our support staff professional development day. It was last Thursday, June 16th at the Indian Creek Zoo. We had Dr. Randy Daniels come and speak to us about the power of words. And then after we did a team building scavenger hunt. So real quick, go to our next slide. Okay, so So in previous surveys conducted by MCCC's Institutional Research Office, data reflected that the support staff morale was low. So strengthening relationships, fostering effective communication, and creating a positive environment in the workplace were techniques that were essential for succeeding in the workplace to assist with improving morale. So to do this, to promote a sense of appreciation for each other and to build morale, we listened to the motivational speech by Dr. Randy Daniels on the power of words, and then we were put into the groups, or we put everyone into groups for team building scavenger hunt. So the goal was words have energy and power, and with the ability to help, to heal, to hinder, to hurt, to harm, to humiliate, and to humble. So expert Dr. Randy Daniels taught support staff the skills of using our words within the workplace, within life, which can also translate into a more productive workforce and a positive work environment. The part of the strategic plan that this built into was the objective 2.3, collaboration and civility, engage campus in civility and team building. And so here is, let me go back. So here's some slides of Randy doing his speech. And so I highlighted a couple of like words that, because we did surveys, so things that the support staff learned. It really does matter what you say and how you say it. Have empathy, use positive words in your interactions, be kind. We can change someone's day, week, life by just being kind, and then choose happiness. So those are some of the little highlights. And then there's Randy. We had breakfast, Tim Hortons. And then one thing that really stuck out, and I won't go into detail, but it really does matter what you say and how you say it. An example, he gave a story of a blind man who he had a sign, or sitting out, and his sign was "Need help, I am blind." And then a woman came up and changed his sign because he had no money in his cup. A woman came up and changed his sign, and he did not realize it. And then he realized that his cup was getting full. And so this woman had heels, so he could hear her clicking. So she came up a second time and he said, "What did you do to my sign?" She changed the words of his sign. And the words of his sign said, "It's a beautiful day out and I can't see it." And so Randy obviously said that story more powerful than what I can, but that really stuck out to a lot of everybody, the story of the blind man. So, words really do have power in how you say them. And so real quick, I'll just go over some pictures of our day. So we had lunch, thanks to Smokehouse 734 in Temperate. So we stayed local in the area. And then here's some pictures of the support staff at the zoo. They did a scavenger hunt. And so just more pictures. Let's go over. We put everybody into teams. So here's Team Zedonk. And Team Emu. And then kind of everybody at their day. Team Tibetan Yak. Then we had Team Pixie Frog and Team Screech Owl. Team Spider Monkey. I don't know if I'm going too fast. Then again, they did a scavenger hunt, took pictures. We had Team Turkey Vulture. We tried to do, keep it funny and have like animals that were actually at the zoo. So that's why you're seeing like Team Turkey Vulture, some funny names. And then the winners of the scavenger hunt was Team Wallaby. And so you could see they all each got an animal from the gift shop from the zoo. And then we had a door prize winner, which was Janelle from Team Emu. So she also got a prize. And then this is the team. So our committee was me, Kim, Cassie, Linda Roberts, Sherry Bustle, and Ann Gerwig. And they did a wonderful job too. So I appreciate all their help. And then this was the end. So we all took a group picture at the end.
That
Did you
is-
guys have questions or?
That is fantastic, Allison. That is right on point. You guys all did a fantastic job, and thank you for that.
Thank
Right.
you. Thank you
Right.
for approving it.
And oh, absolutely. When I saw it, no, it's right on point. I thought it was perfectly selected, and the way you presented it here exemplifies the work that you guys did. So nice job.
Thank you. Did I unshare my screen?
Yes, yes, you did.
Okay.
All right. Anything for the good of the order from anyone? Thoughts, concerns, so forth? Please do work with your directors, and let's just continually look for ways to serve students better. With that said, I will say we've had a few students this summer. I think tensions are high in in society. We've had a few prospective students who have come in and have acted inappropriately. Know that that will not be tolerated. And I'm saying this from my heart because I've dealt with a few of those students since, and I will tell you, I will always take them on. Feel free at all times to send them my way, and we will not. We come to work. It is to be a civil environment by all, and I don't think that that is unreasonable to expect of anyone. So I just want to make that statement and know that whenever we have those, send them my way. I will gladly take care of those or send them to a director. But it is important that and actually this goes back to your very theme, right? Words matter. Words can hurt. Words can also de-escalate. And I think that's always the intent. But don't take those people on. Feel free to get your directors, so forth, and refer those people to me, and I will take them. All righty. Any other thoughts? Nice work.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I would just like to thank Allison and Ann and Sherry and whoever else was on the team for the support staff event. It was really hot that day, but it was a really, really good time. So I appreciate all the behind the scenes work because I know it was probably a lot of work to get that, prepared in such a short time. So thank you. We appreciate it. It was a good time.
Absolutely. Well said. All right, all. Let's finish the summer strong. We will not do a whole lot of these with everyone, but I just want to make sure that we are touching base, being transparent, having opportunity to share. There's so much going on. I think it's important to share those things too, and to share them with the college community. So I will get this out. Our next several WIG meetings, though, will just be the directors, and then in the fall, after we get through this enrollment period, we will start up with our WIG meetings. We might readjust it. We'll talk about how we do that, because we probably don't need them every week with everyone. But I do want to make sure we always have the opportunity to share amongst each other and to celebrate some of the great work going on. Alice and your team, that was absolutely great work. Jenny, absolutely phenomenal work. We need to acknowledge that. Great job, everyone. And we'll let you get back to it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all you do.